What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another Dragon Blaze video. Hope everybody is doing very well. So today we're not going to do an investment video. I'm going to make hopefully this will be the last video of this topic that I will make, but it's about getting the fourth impact characters. So recently in one of my newer videos, I had a comment, for newbies, how do you get the fourth impact characters? They may have seen somebody else having them at a certain level or anything of that nature. I've made about 3 videos of like how you can get them. I think specifically I made one specifically on that. The other one I just got Odin, and then the one before I got when the first update came out, I got him and I got her. So what to focus on, if you're brand new. I made a beginner's guide video about that, but when it comes to your characters, you got to definitely focus on getting your third impact characters before getting your fourth impact characters. And since I've been hearing from multiple people, when you first start, since the game has changed so much and there's so much that's out, you have level 100 summon tickets, and I'm guessing the first and second impact are already maxed. That's a really good advantage. So once you get your third impacts, you can prelude them to, you can punch them together and get, probably a good power bonus, considering they're both at level 100. Like, if you look at my old faithful, is what I call her, because I use her basically for all of my runs for getting my fourth impact character. I believe she is the highest level out of everyone, actually. Both of my guys here are 21 and 24. So, her power boost that she could potentially have is way off the mark versus if they were level 100 each. So, getting your third impact characters and then, making them a little bit stronger and getting your fourth impact characters would be kind of the way to go. Because what makes fourth impact so hard to get is when you make them, you have to use specific characters, the first 3 of their type of the fourth impact you're trying to obtain. So for instance, this right here, he's a healer. So you have to use 3 priests, and they can't be third impact or second impact. They can only be first. So coming into the game could be a little bit better than, you just being here for a long time and having maxed out your characters. But that can kind of give you an edge depending on what character that you're using. And then you use basically, 2 other characters. So the characters that I normally recommended when getting your fourth impact characters is Camille's one of them, and she is a paladin, I believe. So let's go here and see. So there's Camille. She's been around for so long, actually. I mean, several years she's been here. And the reason why I use her is not because of her invincibility, it's because her dying ability. Like, whenever she dies, she revives. In most cases, I've seen some cases where this does not work, but in this case it will. Whenever she dies, she revives all other characters, all your other heroes, so she does not revive herself. You can use her. And now, in our third impact, we use Meta. So Meta, whenever she dies, for like a brief couple of seconds, she'll channel her her dying ability, and then she'll come back and bring everyone back. So she's the very first ever to ever have a mass revive to bring all your heroes back. Now, this doesn't mean, you're going to end up getting your fourth impact heroes, but it's a second try to refresh to try to take down the fourth impacts. I mean, it could reset their abilities. It could, stall them for a couple of seconds on what they were doing. It could take them out of a different state of ability of whatever they're trying to do for their passive. It can do a lot of things. It can, because, it's a death state. So you probably won't even finish whatever type of move or maneuver they're trying to do because your characters don't exist for the moment. So, getting them would be very difficult. I recommend rogues as number one because I've done, like, when I've made her, she allowed me to go much further than most of the characters, to be honest. Like, she's quite broken. In my opinion, she's the second best rogue in the game. I've already introduced the first, in my opinion, the first and the most powerful third impact rogue, in my opinion, would be her. She does an absurd amount of things, including stunning. So she's definitely extremely helpful in the spectrum when it comes to that. But when this comes to your fourth impacts, make rogue, make a strong warrior, DPS, dual wielder, warrior, and rogue. That's kind of where you need to focus on because you don't really need too much when trying to get these guys. You can get these guys as long as your team is decently strong. You have a meta preferably. Camille would work too, but meta preferably, which would be the healer. And you have a very strong character to take them down. That's the more simple way to do it. Some people may get it easier. You can keep trying. You may get a different pattern and take it down. But definitely when trying to play the game and get introduced and trying to worry about how to get the fourth impact characters, I wouldn't worry too much about trying to get them immediately until you get your team strong enough to even fight them. Like when I first fought these two, I didn't think what to expect. Like I didn't know, was my team even ready for this? Because we're talking about the fourth generation of heroes here. When I first fought her, she clapped my team. Like she knocked them all out with hardly any time to spare. And then I got revived and came back and luckily beat her. Now, when I fought him, he wasn't too much of a challenge for me. She hit pretty hard, actually. He was okay. So, your team and their power does reflect on what you can do in this game. So don't be discouraged if you can't get the fourth impact characters yet, because there's a reason why, because you're just not ready for them yet. You're not strong enough yet. You coming into the game and having your first and second impact at level 100 is amazing. Yeah, they won't give you the most power. They really don't. I haven't really focused on my second impacts as much at all. Considering they don't even get pledged or anything. This is just your straight up power. I'm almost at 600,000 power at level 44, and that's just where it's at. That's without even transcending or anything. So they do get decent power once you get them to max, and then obviously your first impact don't really give you that much. She's level 100, so transcended once, and I can transcend her multiple times. So you just have to kind of be patient, but definitely when you're doing the first impact characters, always use meta as your healer and then use Camille. If you don't have meta, which you shouldn't have too many problems trying to get her, she's third impact, she's not going to be too crazy to fight, but you should have Camille or meta for sure, and then you need to have a strong team after that. What ones you could use? Well, you can use Old Faithful. She definitely gets the job done. I would recommend using him. He's actually quite powerful and puts in lots of damage. This guy is actually quite good. Very good, actually. I've heard one of my guys, I think he's only subscribed to me, but he used her, and because of her, he took down one of the newer fourth impacts when they came out, not the ones that are out now. They're still new, but the newer ones are out now. He used her to take the first female fourth impact hero down, because I just did an investment video on her around that time, and he picked her up and did excellent work with her. and just any kind of powerful damage dealer that will help you get your fourth impacts. And you know, your ruins matter, your jewels matter, and I don't mean just your jewels on your character's weapons. I mean the jewel sanctuary jewels, because you get them stronger, they allow you to get additional abilities. But when you're starting off new, you're not going to have that. But this is just some examples and information that would be helpful for you, not now, but for the future. You know, your character's weapons matter, the Book of Heroes matter. But you know, when you're first starting and you're getting your heroes, I don't think you really need to be focusing on is getting your third impact heroes, making them somewhat strong. Like, they don't have to be like super duper incredibly strong. Like, let's see. I mean, she's over 500,000 power, even though she's a healer. So that's actually a bad example. She's level 14. She got pledged twice, so her power is 633,000 power. You know, that's decent power to try to fight them, but you may need to get a little bit stronger, just depending on where you are. I mean, she's level 23. I have a level 100 and level 39 pledged to her, and she's almost at 1,000,000 power. So, plus she's also transcended once. So it's just there's a lot that kind of goes into how you fight this, because people kept asking me, hey, have you made any videos about how to get a fourth impact for a newer person? Well, yeah. And I'm going to make this one. This is going to be the last one. But those basically the two characters you need to use. I mean, well, one of those two for your helper, and then a strong third impact, which will mainly be her. You can use her. I would recommend him. She's an archer. You want somebody who's going to be kind of in your face, so I would recommend using those. Like warrior, dual wielder, and archer is kind of where you want to stick. And we don't have too many of those for third impacts out. So the ones that I recommended, you could use. She can probably be useful as well. She's been out for a long time, so it just depends on what characters you want to use. But you got to use somebody who's going to deal a lot of damage. And after doing a investment video on her, which is crazy, because out of all of my investment videos series, she has the highest views. And it kind of makes sense, because she's incredibly powerful. Like, she is beyond belief, very, very, very good to have and to invest into, which is why she's my highest level in the game. And I have 76 cards plus 3 treasure cards, and I don't plan on powering her up for a while, actually, because she's already strong enough, and eventually I'm gonna power up my team. I just wait, because I don't need to get any stronger currently right now. I mean, I am trying to get through Challenger Dungeon, but that's a whole nother conversation. But you know, as you play, you're going to be able to power up your characters as much as you can. And when you do, you'll be able to take these guys down. So when you're first starting, just try to focus on getting your characters a little bit stronger. And as they get stronger, like after like every like 1 or 2 like enchant level ups, try to go back in and fight again. But you're going to need to use Meta for sure, or Camille, to give you that reset you need, so you could potentially take these guys down. I mean, in all of my videos, I've used that same setup, I believe. I've used her in all 4 videos, and also used Meta in all 4 videos. And then just your helpers. That's truly the hardest part. Like your required heroes, that's really the most hardest part of why it's hard to try to complete and take them down, because they're not always going to be the strongest. You know, your second, both your third impact heroes are going to be the ones that's going to carry you through this. So that's kind of where the frustration falls into play. And I get that, because I've been there. That's why I've always wait and buy packs when the rates are up. Newsflash, the rates are always up, because they have a hero out all the time. So that's why I'm saying save your rubies. Wait till like near the end of the month, spend like 5 or 6 million, power up your characters if you can, or the new character. It's very important that you focus on that, because when you do, you'll be able to achieve everything you're trying to do. You know, I've got all the characters, not with these. I mean, you know, they were challenging. I mean, like I said, if I didn't have the meta, or a powerful, like, you know, rogue to help me, I would still probably be right here trying to figure out how I'm going to get this done. But that's definitely my video for today. Is just giving some advice. Hopefully this will be the last one I have to make, because I know I've made several more, but this is really for like newer, like when, you know, we start the game, you see the fourth impacts are here, you want to get them but you can't. This is really for you guys, or really for anybody who needs it. And plus, one thing I have over you is I'm in a guild. So as you see here, my hero main stats are at 300%, plus 200%. Hero HP is at 300% as well. And then, you know, I have Odyssey chest and I have Library of Fate, which doesn't really matter for this particular conversation. But those first two abilities here, they really matter. And I keep telling people, join a guild specifically for the buffs. I mean, you do get more content, but having these buffs, guys, I have never, ever not had these buffs. They've always been on me because they're that good. 300% for both, that's really high. It may not seem high to you, but it's really high for me. I've gotten through a lot of stuff because of that. So just keep that in mind. But like, comment, subscribe, guys. And as always, I will most definitely see you for the next one. Just, you know, try to follow my advice. You know, it's helped a lot of people, and hopefully this video will help you. But I will see you soon. Peace.